Good evening, everyone. Such a pleasure to be back with you today in my course Defining Consciousness. And this week I've chose to speak with you about, if I may say, overcoming jealousy, power of jealousy, and actually how jealousy really supports us in a positive way in our life. What do you think about that statement? And more than that, I don't know if you know that the world was created out of jealousy. What do you think about that? So before we talk about how the world was created by jealousy, we know that when we speak about any emotion, any that affects our behavior, affects our reactive way of doing or being, it's really there to move us forward and really support us in the process to receive and achieve things in our life, or it can be some sort of a blockage that blocking us from reaching our goals and creating the reality we want to create. So what we wanted to talk about right now when we talk about the creation, right, why the world has been created with jealousy. So let's talk about what happened before this world, that the physical world that we live in, the world that it's called the world of Malchut has been created. So we talk about the realm that it's called Olam Ein Sof, or the realm of Ein Sof, or the endless realm. And as souls, as vessel, basically we have received everything from the Creator. We received all the sustenance, we received the wealth, we received health, the relationship, any form actually of any question that we had, any desire that we had, it was fulfilled by the Creator. But there was one thing that we didn't receive. What was that? Is to be like the Creator, right? Or the feeling of how is it to be like the Creator, and the energy that is about giving and giving, and the energy of sharing and sharing, we didn't feel it, we didn't have it. So in order for us to experience and feel how is it to be like the Creator, we need to earn it. We need to go through a process of earning it. We need to go through a process of earning that feeling of being like the Creator. So as a result, all the souls, right, us, all the souls, the vessel, got so jealous of the Creator. We got jealous of the light. They wanted to have it all. So, but the feeling of earning or achieving is like if we talk about any sports game, right? So about 45 minutes of game, your team is like going through all this game and they win, your team is winning. Wow, what an achievement. Graduation, when graduation time. So when you go through X amount of years of studying and you graduate, so it's a process of earning. It's a process of earning. So, and when we talk about business, it's like when you seal a deal, right? You went through so many high and low till you got the investor, till you got the closing the deal. It's a feeling of achievement, but it's a feeling that you cannot transfer to anyone, right? It's a feeling that we cannot inherit or give it to someone, right? We cannot even pay for this feeling. It's the only thing that we can go through is to go through this process of earning. So the vessel, or the sum of the souls, told the Creator, I'm jealous of you. And I want to be like you. And I want to share like you, and I want to create like you. So as a result, the world that we live in has been created. And as we said that I want to create like you, we also said I'm willing to go through the process of darkness and chaos, so I can reveal the miracles and I can really will have it all. But more importantly, I will be able to really share and to create. And I will not be jealous anymore. So this is how the beginning of jealousy has been revealed to us in that form. You know, according to Wikipedia, we can see in the slide I've prepared for you, what is the definition of jealousy? So jealousy is generally refers to the thoughts or feeling of insecurity, of fear and concern over a relative lack of possession or safety. Jealousy can consist of one or more emotions such as anger and resentment and helpfulness, right? So this is the definition of jealousy according to Wikipedia. But if we'll see the following slide, we can see that there are three types of tendencies. The first type of tendency is lust. In Hebrew we call it te'ava. Is lust, or some people will say it greed, but it's a physical aspect of it's a body. We lust in food and sex and money. And there's a second tendency, which is respect, and it's people who would like to be always the first and to be a loved one by people, and that people will listen to me, and I'm going to be the leader, and I'm the leader, and I'm always right. It seems that this tendency, we can see them in animals. Animals have the same tendencies, but the third tendency, which is the tendency of jealousy, does not exist in animals. Only human beings have it. And Rav Ashlag says that every person has those three tendencies. And we can see it in a positive aspect, and we can see it obviously in negative aspects. Probably we saw all of us, we think that it's negative. But if we look at it in a positive way, I have it here, the Rav Ashlag is saying, I'm going to read here and I will translate that, for example, those who have this tendency, or netiya in Hebrew, netiyat te'ava, tendency of te'ava, actually brings out from people who has this tendency, they bring out from them this desire to be strong and desire for wealth. So, and they are really mitztainim, they're expert in achieving wealth in their life. So it can be, as we already starting to see, that jealousy can be something that it's can be pushing you further in your life. It just depends how we using that feeling or tendency. And if we look at the tendency of respect, how we can see that it can be positive aspect. Those who נטיית הכבוד נמצאים מצטיינים בהשגת ממשלה, which means those who have the tendency for respect, we can see that those can be the leaders or politicians. They want to show, they want to share their words and they share their knowledge by becoming leaders and making impact. So if you have that tendency, it can be a positive aspect. But when we talk about even jealousy, we can see something that it's very unique as far as Rav Ashlag is talking. And he mentioned here that נטיית הקנאה מוציאים מתוכם את החכמים, which means those people who have the tendency of jealousy brings out the wise people, which means it connection to wisdom. So the wise people, they know how to connect between things, and so we can see that jealousy can be a good thing as long as we transform it to a positive one. But of course, we know it as a negative aspect because we want something from somebody else. And maybe we want their money, or we want their life, or we want their wife, or we want their respect from someone else. We live in a time that social media is so controlling us, if I may say, right? We see all those pictures and movies and posts that people are putting all over social media to show how their life is so-and-so, and their trips and their families and their money, and how they really have an amazing life, and we might be jealous of that, right? So when a person is seeking for an external fulfillment, Rav Ashlag is saying, when he's seeking for fulfillment outside of his marriage maybe, or outside of his life, is seeking fulfillment outside of his gifts. So I wanted to share with you in the next slide the reason why a person is looking outside of himself, and the reason why a person is looking to take something from someone else is because he's disconnecting from his own gifts and his own blessings. I want to repeat that. Jealousy occurs when we disconnect from our own gifts and our own blessings. This is why in this lesson I would like to discuss not really about our mistakes and our negativity, but rather see how we can reconnect back with our gifts and blessings. Reconnect back with our inner soul, and to transform jealousy into a positive attribute. This is why it was important for me to talk about it today, because when we talked about jealousy that brings wisdom, we know that it's called in Hebrew kinat sofrim, and kinat sofrim tarbe chokhmah. It's like when you jealous for knowledge. Actually, do we hurt anyone else by having that jealousy for their knowledge? No. The Rav Ashlag in the introduction to the Zohar says that even if during the day we are acting selfishly, even in our thoughts we always talk about or thinking about me, and I, even if we will, just to remember that soon all of us, all humanity will be reaching to a point where we having the correction state, right? That our desire for the self alone will transform to be the desire for pure sharing. So because at the end everyone we're gonna reach that point and level, we want to remember that even now when we act in selfishly and we think about ourselves in various moments in our life, this will happen. Therefore, we cannot see ourselves but pure, but perfect, by already corrected. So if we see ourselves as not perfect, it's like really an illusion, Rav Ashlag said. It's really an illusion, because the true reality is already here. Our higher self, our potential already exists. Our achievements are here. You know, there are 3 areas why we feel not perfect. So the first area is in our qualities that we were born with, and we constantly comparing ourselves to others. Obviously, we see ourselves sometimes not really fitting in and not have the same quality of someone else. It's like we know this phrase that says the grass is greener on the other side, right? And the second area that we feel not perfect is in the area of things that occur in our life that were unpleasant for us and cause us to feel that I don't want to use the word damage, but really not perfect. And the third area that we feel imperfect is really past mistakes that brings us to feel that way. So, and the Rav Ashlag says that since we all get to we will all get to the corrected place where we are all pure channels, we cannot call ourselves not perfect as a whole. It says here, "En ze pogem mashu ela b'mautenu." Our essence doesn't change, and the seed level of each one of us, the seed is perfect, right? Because, and it says here, "V'chol ha'omed li'yisaref kesaruv dami." Everything that we want to achieve is considered to us as we already received it, we already achieved it. So yes, we need to work on ourselves. Yes, we have negative attributes and we need to cleanse that negativity. But what does it tell us? What does it mean to us, this learning from Rav Ashlag? Is that we need to believe in ourselves as a whole, as a perfect being, and to connect to this. It's the only way that we really can cleanse our negativity. Since the moment we believe that the negativity is my essence, it's pure ego, really, completely pure ego. And it will only add the feeling of guilt and seeing what is missing in my life. And this brings into the jealousy feeling of seeing the lack in my life. So it's really, we need to believe that our essence is pure and our essence is good. Because, think for a moment. If you were today, if you were feeling down a little bit, right? And each one of us has those moments, right, that we feel down. So in the moment that you didn't feel like you really accomplished something, or you made a mistake today and it caused you to really feel down. So what did you think about yourself? What did you really think that about your essence, if I may say? So did you really believe in yourself in that moment? Did you really see yourself as a very powerful person that can really do everything and can really affect the world? Did you see yourself that strong, that everything is possible in your life? If this is not what you felt, you probably thought about yourself, if you're a student of the Kabbalah Center, you probably use a Kabbalistic terminology by saying, I need to really work on my certainty. I have a lot of klipot, I need to clean the klipot, clean the desire for the self alone. I have like a huge ego, etc. I have no inner power. But the Rav Ashlag said to all of us, no, you need to see yourself always as so powerful and connect to the light within you and to your inner power, because the body is just the cover to our soul. And when people asking us the question, so describe to me who you are, or asking us, tell me about yourself. Immediately the answers that we are saying relates to coming from our limitation, right? From our belief system that are limiting us. It's coming from our body. It's come from our external, and it's really not coming from our soul. So Rabbi Chaim Vital, the student of the Ari, is talking about jealousy that is arriving from the concept of us looking outside, as we mentioned, and that jealousy is an illusion of pleasure. So he's asking why we are jealous. What is that is missing? What we are hoping for that we haven't received? So we spoke about the social media that shows like other people's success, and we see other people like their position that they're at, and the relationship that they're in, and the beauty and the power and the respect that they receive, and the amount of friends they have, and we see that other people are enjoying, or they have this leisure, right? The pleasure they enjoy. So, and that brings us to feel lack, because we want to feel that pleasure. We want that, and it creates jealousy, and it pulls us down. The energy goes down. And Rabbi Chaim Vital said that pleasure, it's really an illusion. Pleasure is complete illusion, because pleasure cannot really bring happiness to our life. So it's just a tool of Satan, really. It's just a tool of Satan that tells us to look outside of ourselves. And why? Because when we are disconnected from lasting fulfillment, and we are disconnected from our gift, we are not really connected to our soul. Therefore, we cannot share any of our light. And if we'll see in our next slide, we'll see what the Rav Bergs mentioned about jealousy. Jealousy is when you don't believe that you're the cause. When we don't believe that we are the cause, and we are the one that can create our reality, and to bring all our dream and manifest our dreams, and to bring the light out from us, when we don't believe it, this is like what this means. Jealousy is the disconnection. And the second thing that I think will trigger many of you is jealousy is because you are lazy. And when I shared this concept earlier to a friend of mine, that jealousy is laziness, she told me, but probably people that will hear your class will say, they have been working 24/7. They're really working really hard. And what does it mean lazy? They're not lazy. So I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to laziness is to be comfortable in where you at now, and that this preventing you from really fulfilling your ideas and making them into manifestation and into reality. There are sometimes people who really come into us and seeking for relationship and really want love and a true soulmate and a true relationship. And then when we ask them, okay, so what are you doing? Like, tell me about your life. Share with me what you do. So this lady is completely focusing in her work, 24/7 working. Why? Why? It's preventing herself from being into a relationship, being like maybe the fear of being in intimacy. So laziness is not about physical work. It's really about our spiritual work. It's overcoming our belief system that we are not perfect. It's really acknowledging what is that I want to do in my life, and acknowledging the fear and the challenges we have that really our pathway, like really blocks in our pathway, that we just need to move them away and continue. But we do not want to do that because we feel really comfortable where we are. And most of the time is the fear of the success, rather the fear of the failure, is the fear of like, really, I'm that amazing? I'm great? Really, I'm that person? Yes, you are. You're so powerful, each one of you. You're so powerful. You have such inner light that must shine. And remember, from all the lessons that we went through together, it's when we have challenges in our life and we are being really poked by our soul to move forward, it's just signs that we need to manifest our true essence, no matter what it is. So in the 3 areas that I've mentioned earlier about that cause us to feel jealous, the qualities or the current situation or past mistakes, those are cause us to walk in life with lack, feeling not worth, not completed or not accomplished, and cause us to really desire to look outside of ourselves and to have that feeling that I will never get there. I will never get there. So what's worth it? What's the point of really making an effort, right? So let's say that yesterday you did something that you really wanted to correct, okay? So Rav Ashlag is saying, before you start to correct anything, just believe that it's part of the master plan. It's like, yes, you take responsibility for your action, but believe that it's all part of a plan that the Creator wants you to act like this or to do. So I don't know if you know about the story that is mentioned in the Zohar about the 2 guys who one tell the other, "Oh wow, you're so ugly." So the guy answered him, "I don't know, go ask the Creator. He created me like this." What does it show us? That he never felt like he was imperfect. This is how the Creator created him. He didn't feel insecure about it, and this is what it is. This is the way it's supposed to be. So we need to bring ourselves to many moments in our life, in the day, to know that we are whole. We need to create that moment for ourselves, that we know that we are people that achieve our goals, and that will show us that we are so powerful, and that this will be able to and allow us to connect back with our soul, and the light of our soul is going to diminish all the negativities around us. So find yourself time, like, you know, if you're a parent to a child, when you give an advice to a child and you're just there to share your love with your partner, and if you're there just to bring in compassion, or you volunteer in your community, it shows you, right? When we volunteer and when we share our light, even in like a smile or a compliment, it automatically brings us some sort of a vitality that shows us really that we have something that we can share with the world. We have some power, right? So imagine yourself, you have those moments in the week and in the day, and it comes together to really bring you this power to ignite the light of your soul outside of you. So this will be able to diminish and to really put down all the other negativities that in your life. Imagine that. So sharing this, I wanted to share with you, okay, so what is the next step? So we identify what's jealousy. We identify that it's a disconnect from our gifts and our power. It's really we're lazy. We don't understand that we are the cause. We understand that, but the Zohar is saying that the Creator, talks with the righteous more than with the negative people. If I may call them, just for the lesson, evil. It's tzaddik mul rasha. So, but it's like the Zohar is asking, what does it mean? The Creator is looking at two people and says, oh, he is a righteous person, and this guy is like negative, evil people. I'm not going to speak with him. No, it talks about two aspects that exist with each one of us. The evil inclination that we all know, and the righteous side within one of us. So when we are righteous, which means when we are connecting to our gifts, or when we feel really pure, and we feel appreciation to our soul. So every action that we'll do, every word that we'll share with people will be in a positive aspect, and it will just really bring into a positive action, right? So, and we will know that even with our words and action, we will feel that actually we're impacting the world of other people and in general the world. But if we're coming from our evil inclination place, so every word, every action, every intention will affect the world, but in the same way, in a negative way. So it's not that the Creator judges on every action. It's just that a person that sees himself as evil or negative, it's a person that doesn't believe that his soul is so powerful to make an impact. Okay, so it's very important that we all know that, and we need to find, each one of us need to find our niche. We need to find our purpose. We need to find our destiny. We need to find the job that we will be happy with. We need to find the situation in our life that really can bring that particular energy of so much inner fulfillment that will identify our gifts, and we acknowledge our strength, that jealousy has no room in our life, right? So we will not be jealous anymore. And the seed level of jealousy is positive, by the way. The seed level of jealousy is positive. Why? Because it's really help us to overcome our limitation. If you remember the story of creation I shared in the beginning of the lesson, the soul wanted to be like the Creator. Therefore, the jealousy really pushed the souls, or pushing us away from our limitation. This is what jealousy does. It helps us to really overcome it and to get out from our comfort zone. Why? Because jealousy is we desire something else. So which means, if this is our vessel and we desire someone else's vessel, whether it's whatever it's represent for us, right? What does it mean? We want the other person's vessel. So look at my vessel now. Now it's larger, right? So what does it mean? Jealousy it has a positive aspect to it, because it shows us that I want to enlarge my vessel. So if I have a larger vessel, which means I can draw more light. If I have a larger vessel, and vessel, it's basically a desire, right? The vessel in Hebrew is kli. kli veratzon, it's a desire. So it's indicate that my desire got bigger, which means I want more. And if I want more, I want more wisdom. More wisdom that I can share with it. I want more because I can be like the Creator, right? Because I can do more. Just to remember that our essence, when we want more, is like to be like the Creator, because like the Creator is wise and powerful and hero and strong and sustenance, right? Because our essence is the spark of the light of the Creator. So because the Creator is one, and our desire is to be one. We want to be the only one. For example, we want to be the only one in the family. Let's say if you're a family of 5 or 8 like myself, I'm number 8 in my family. So every child wants to be the one in front of their parents. We want to be the one that we will be listened to. We want to be the only student, if I may say, well, the only student for our teachers, right? The Creator wants to give and share, and we want to give and share. So remember that we said that all creation came out of jealousy, right? So jealousy, therefore, increase our vessel, enlarge our vessel to be like the Creator. So jealousy is a good attribute, as we understand it right now, and the only thing is we are not using it correctly and to our benefit. We're not. Like angels are angels, and they do not have any jealousy. You know why? Because they just go and do their work. In a portion of Yitro, it talks about the time of the Israelites before right before the moment they received the tabernacle, before they received the Torah, the highest technology, the power of immortality. And it says there, the sentence says, Vayichan Yisrael el Har. Vayichan, which means it's mentioned there in a singular way, because it referred to the Israelites as they were one soul, one unified soul. And why they were that? Because they loved each other in the level of the soul. They saw the beauty of one another in a level of their soul that they didn't see the body. They didn't see the body. They just saw the gift of each person, because Vayichan in Hebrew comes from the word chen, like metziat chen is to be liked or to like someone. So they liked each other in the level of their soul, and therefore they were one unified soul. They were one, and it's correlated actually with the month that we're right now celebrating and experiencing. It's the month of Sivan, the month of Gemini, and the 2 letters that control this month is the letters Resh and Zayin in Hebrew, and together it creates the word Raz, which is the interpretation for that is a secret, is sod. So when they were one, when they matzu chen, when they liked each other, actually, they saw the secret of each one of us was revealed, and each one of them saw the secret of their soul of their friends. Therefore, imagine the level of unity and love and likeness and sharing with one another. In that state, there is no jealousy, because each one knows what they worth. Each one knows the secret of their soul, and they know the secret of the other person's soul, and they just share that with people. It's so exciting, when I think we're right now in more than any other times. It's not that we shouldn't have done it before, but these days it's like really bring us, especially this month. I would highly recommend that you will see friends of yours or people that you know, maybe even from social medias, to really extend your excitement about what they do and share with other people about their wisdom, about their attributes. Share that. as we share with other people, we see the good in other people, therefore we see the good in ourselves. As we see the good in ourselves, it's really strengthened who we are. It strengthened the power of how we view ourselves. Therefore, jealousy doesn't exist. And the only thing that exists is what we mentioned earlier, kin'at sofrim. It's to be in a place where the only jealousy is jealousy about that. It's really about the wisdom. It's really a positive attribute, because wow, I really want to be like that person. If you will have a list of all the people that are role models for you, write a list of like 5 people that are role models for you, and write down their attributes. What is the attribute that they have that you wish that you will have? And I'm sure that if you will look within, you have the same attribute. Maybe it's concealed, but it's just to really strengthen it within yourself. But in the same time, to remember that even though we're looking at other people's attributes and the way they succeed in their life and in every areas in their life, it may be not even your path or your story. And as the Rav used to talk about the flashlight, you have your own flashlight to light your path. Sometimes and often we borrowing or we just taking the flashlight from someone else. We have our own path, we have our own correction, and we have our own attributes that we want to shine with them and to bring them to the world to be like the Creator. So connect to that, connect to your own self. And I wanted to share with you a tip. How can you do it? Is something that I found that most people really are not clear about their vision. How would they like to be presented in life? How would they like to be remembered in their life? Like, what kind of legacy you want to leave here to the world? How would you like to impact? In what ways? Maybe it's not now, maybe it's like 50 years from now, maybe it's something that you would like to see, that you will leave for others, okay? But when you see the vision, write it down. Write down what is your vision. Start to be more clear about who you are and what would you like to leave to the world. So by that is like, what's your passion? Write it down. Some people, I would recommend them to do something that is called a treasure map or a visionary board. You know, when you take cut off from magazines of images or sentences that represent your passion about different areas in your life, and when you put them together in some sort of a paper, if it's possible, or anything like that, that you put it together and you see this picture that actually represent your desires of how you look about yourself. What is the vision? As you do that and you ask yourself more and more about the question, and write it down. I'm always recommending, write it down. Write down your thoughts, write down your visions. When you write it down, this is the first stage. I'm sure we'll have another class about how we're moving forward with those steps. But the first step that you must have is to be clear about your vision. Because when you're clear about your vision, you're clear about yourself, you start to identify the attributes. You don't look outside of yourself. You don't search outside of yourself for happiness. You don't search for lasting fulfillment outside, because you have it within you. You know what are your attributes, and okay, we need to work to strengthen them. This is why we have our Kabbalah Center teachers around the world, and I'm sure your teachers that can really support you and help you with that. And jealousy really is about connecting to our potential. And it's connecting us to the phrase, give me more, okay? And I will use that, what I'm getting now, and I'll be the one. Because it really, this is what we want. So when we're talking about job, I'm sure that someone will ask, so what, do I need to quit my job now? No, it's not about quitting your job in order to be the one or to connect to yourself. It's really about doing what you do right now, your 100%. Give it your 100%. Okay? Give it all that you have, all your energy in what needed to take place right now or in every area in your life. Give it your 100%. The Rav used to say that whenever you give your 100%, then a layer or a door is opening for you for your next level. So give your 100%, you know. If we look through the stories of the Bible, we can also see how, for example, Rachel the patriarch used to be jealous of her sister Leah, but it was a good jealousy because Leah had such a desire, cleaving for the Creator, that Rachel really wanted the same thing as her sister. So that was maybe felt painful, or maybe it's painful for us to be in a jealousy state, but it makes us grow. It really makes us grow. And I remember Karen used to say that jealousy, when someone feeling really jealousy, and his punishment is the jealousy itself, is a constant feeling lack. And we want really to transform that. This is the whole idea. We want to transform it. And in life, there will always be someone that will be better than us, and there will be someone that is less than us. But there will always be an area that we will be second in line. So what we should do? We should do our work. We should do our job, no matter what. We should work on really making our dream come true, not necessarily in an active form, right? Because we're talking about in this class, the name of this class is Defining Consciousness. So the whole idea is really working on elevating our consciousness, understanding that there's no one here to harm us. The challenges are not here to block us from reaching our goal. The lack that we feel, or the fact that we don't see the good in everything, all of this is just really here to support us, to really push us like the surrounding light, pushing us to connect back to our potential. Okay? It's like the Israelites, when they left Egypt, it's talk about Beshalach, the portion Beshalach. Beshalach in Hebrew, Pharaoh sent them away. He literally pushed them away from slavery because they felt so comfortable in Egypt. And we often feel comfortable where we at, till the moment we're not. So all of this is really preparing us for the moment that we are not. We are not comfortable anymore. We are not pleased with the way we present ourselves in life. We really want more than life, and we understand that the fact that we're looking at other people pleasure or how their life look like, or the grass is greener, it's just an indication from us that my vessel is growing, is actually literally growing, and it's a positive thing. So how am I taking this enormous amount of desire, creating my vision, being clear about who am I and how do I want to be remembered? That's it. It's not about the action. It's really about having it in my consciousness, seeing it, visualizing my vision, visualizing our attributes, visualizing the good within me, visualizing the power that we have within each one of us. Just visualize it, see it, and then attract it. You attract it from the universe. You attract it from the Creator. This is the whole message that we have exactly in this period of time that I've mentioned before. We need just to do our job, and our job is to raise our consciousness, to see that things are not here against me, that everything that's happening in my universe is just to support my process in my path, and it's like a battery to my flashlight. Okay, so we want to really connect to that, and then we're attracting from the universe really an enormous amount of blessing and miracle. This is why we want to be, because remember, we always, in our essence, we want to be one. In our essence, we want to be like the Creator. So proactive jealousy, as I call it, is to see that I see someone that has something, And I'm saying to myself, I don't want that. I don't want that, but I'm receiving the inspiration from that action to work on myself, right? When I see someone that is successful in a certain area, so good for him, amazing. And if I can share his information with other people and I can recommend about his service, amazing, why not? And it shouldn't bring any anger to our life, right? Because sometimes we're angry that other people succeed and we're not. And again, what is success? It's a different class and a different definition. But the idea is to take from that proactive jealousy, is to take from that inspiration for my life, and that it will allow me and it will push me to work on myself, right? To work on myself, that will shine the diamond within. And a spiritual tool that I want to share with you appear in my next slide, which is a combination that comes from the 72 name of the Creator. And my passion is the 72 name. Actually, people are contacting me for reading on the personal 72 name, and I can share with you my information later, but I want you to all connect with this 3 amazing letter, which is Chet Hei Vav. Yes, it's removing jealousy, and in the same time, as you look at those letters, I wanted to just, with your permission, to direct you. It's not a meditation, but it's a form of intention. When we look at these letters, each letter, it's a beginning of a name of an angel, which means there are 3 angels here that really all their job is coming to support each one of us to release the disconnection that we have from our gifts and from our blessings, and reconnect back to our inner soul. So as you viewing and watching and looking at those letters, Chet Hei Vav, and scanning them with your eyes, visualize how would you like to be remembered in life. Visualize who you are. Visualize in your ideal world, in your ideal reality. How is that you view yourself in every area in your life? It can be in a business, and it can be in a relationship, and it can be as a parent, it can be as an individual person, it could be physically as well. How do you view yourself? And get clarity on your attributes, get clarity on your qualities and your gifts, and write them down. Write them down, even if you just start a list of 1 or 2 items. No problem. Go back to the Chet Hei Vav and ask from the Creator to direct you, to show you what are your gifts. Because you like the Creator. Each one of us are the spark of the Creator. Chet Hei Vav, connecting back to your inner soul, connecting back to your gifts and your attributes and the blessings. Okay? And it's allowing us to transform the negative aspects of jealousy into a positive, proactive jealousy by receiving inspiration from other people to our life. Chet Hei Vav. So as we view in that, I brought with me some 72 name cards, and I feel that we need to get one more help from the 72 name to see what is that we need to work on in the process of reconnecting back to our blessings and our gifts. It's so exciting. You know what I've received? I can show you. I hope that you will be able to see that. It's Nun Mem Mem. You know what is Nun Mem Mem? What comes right now? It's listen to your inner voice. And it says here in the card is that each one of us has a personal mission, a personal spiritual mission, a goal that we need to achieve in this lifetime, right? But we have destruction in the physical world that taking us away out of our path every time over and over again. But if we listen to our inner voice, Nun Mem Mem, if we listen to our inner voice, our soul will direct us to our purpose, to the place that we need to be. And with that, I wanted to tell you that do not forget who you need to be, and do not forget who you are in the process. So Nun Mem Mem. This is the additional 72 name that as a message that came right now, and I think it really is supporting us in this process. And I hope that you understood that jealousy can be good, and it can really bring us to a place where we're on the right path for each one of us, and to really support us in the process of our spiritual work and raising our consciousness. Good evening, everyone, and many blessings to all of us. And I hope to see you next time in our next lesson of Defining Consciousness. Have a wonderful time.